welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about the Reaper expand and using this Reaper. Now, we all love Byun, and we wish we could, go into a Zerg base and kill 4 drones and a queen with 1 Reaper, but we're not Byun. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about how to get value out of this Reaper without being literally as fast as one of the basically the fastest Terran in the world right now. But we're gonna talk about basically the 4 steps that you should be using with your Reaper, and that's the scouting, timing of the scout, the attack of the scout, and then the next step after that scout. So scouting, timing, attack, next step, STAN. I would like you to meet Stan, my Reaper. And I've been playing occasional ladder games, a couple ladder matches and stuff like that, but basically just practicing a whole bunch for this weekend. I've been doing against the elite AI just because it's better than just practicing against the dumb computer, like the very easy computer, but not as stressful as trying to be perfect on the ladder, just trying to get my muscle memory down before I hop on this weekend. If, for example, watch it. But I'm going to show you how to get some good value out of the Reaper, and really show you why I think the Reaper is the most important unit until about 8 minutes into this game. So again, we're talking about Stan, so the scout, timing, attack, and next step. So the scout is basically, what am I looking for in this scout? And then the timing is, when is it appropriate for me to look in for what I'm looking for? And then attack is basically, what are you going to do and what can you do before and during when I go in to my build. And then the next step is, as soon as I get that information, what do I do with that information? How do I use that information? And we're going to talk about that. So kind of, excuse my build. I make some mistakes. I'm floating some minerals in this build, but I'm still working on my my new plan for the weekend. So pardon that, but let's get into that. So first thing I always do is, at 17, you should really be scouting a Zerg if they're going to go all in, or going pool first. So this SCV right here is going to do just that. So we're just going to follow that SCV. So this is about scouting and how you can scout a Zerg with the Reaper, and how to get that extra benefit out of the Reaper. So what I'm looking for here is if he's going pool first or not. And if there's a big hatchery finished, then he didn't go pool first. But if he did, if you don't see a hatchery, or if you see there might be a late factory, go in with the SCV and look for that that pool. And if you find a finished pool at about 1:50, he went pool first. So I go in. Let's see what I see. This is my scout. I see the pool. But I see there's no gas. So if we're looking here, there is some gas. I might have missed that, but let me see here. Maybe do I see any gas? No, I don't know if he has gas or not. So this is a little bit of a mistake for me. But basically, with this first, I know that he's gone pool first, so he has the potential of being aggressive. He is expanding though, so not a big issue. But if you see a pool, a couple really easy things you can look for is, okay, he's going pool first. If you want to get more value out of your SCV, watch how much gas he has. If it's 1 gas like this, you can expect maybe Baneling bust, or some Banelings in your base, or maybe just speed and some lings. This is kind of the most ambiguous. If he's got 1 gas mining and his pool is moving, you know that he's going for ling speed early. But that's kind of, looking too much into it. Basically, you can expect up until, if he's going 1 gas, probably Banelings. Just expect Banelings. If he has 2 gases, that's Ravagers. You're going to be getting Ravagers in your base pretty quick, and usually there'll be another building back here, or somewhere hidden, maybe at the very corner where you can not see the Roach Warden. But 2 gases always mean roaches really, really quick, or like 1 base muta. But if you don't see that he's going hatchery, he would skip speed and go straight for the layer. So just a little bit. If he's got no gas, you can maybe expect a couple lings early, but he's going to be expanding heavily behind it. So not a massive amount of pressure. As long as you got a wall up, this is fine. So that's kind of what you can do with your first SCV scout. If he's going pool first, does he have gas? Does he have a roach warden? Is he getting a layer? All these things can be answered with that. And then if that happens, you leave the Reaper at home. But let's continue. So next, I even kind of like go, okay, well, we're going to get a wall here pretty soon because he's going pool first. And my Reaper, he gets a drone in my base. So I just go kill it. So let's see. But now, we've got Stanley out now. So let's talk about Stan. The scout, the timing, the attack, and the next step. So what am I going to do with Stanley? I'm getting my macro first. This is the most important thing. Don't screw up your macro with Stanley. Stanley is not... He's not there to kill your macro. He's there to help you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to follow on Stanley here. So I send him out, and you're going to see what I'm going to do. This first attack, what you're looking for, is the 2nd base drone count. So that's the scout. 2nd base drone count. And you really want to get him out there as soon as it pops. I was a little late sending it out, but I kind of know he went pool first, so at about this time there's no lings and stuff around in my base, so I'm pretty much safe. So here we go. Let's talk about this guy right here. Let's talk about what I see. I see a lot of drones. A lot of drones on the 2nd. Lots of drones on the 2nd. This is good for me. If I see maybe like 4 or 5 drones, this means that I'm going to get hit with a lot of pressure because he's making his larva into units and not into workers. So I'm looking at the drone count. And then as soon as I see that, I just get out. I don't try to take a kill. I don't try to do anything. I get my information, I get out. Because there's a queen. From the point of before this queen pops, I can stay in here and I can just run around, especially if these lings don't have speed yet. Speed hasn't been started because this is just an AI. But if I see that there's no wings on these lings, or if these are just normal standard lings, and there's no queen, I can kite these lings even on creep all day. As soon as they have ling speed, I have to be careful. I can't engage on creep anymore. And if there's a queen, it's just going to kill me. It has more damage than I do as my little wimpy Reaper. So that's just what that is. So this is the first scout. I get it. Now what's the next step? I get the hell out of there. I don't want to lose my Reaper. I'm getting the hell out of there. I'm going to stay on his side of the map now. So now what I'm waiting for is I'm doing my macro build. Let's see when I move in next. So just to kind of recap, so we got the SCV scout in the beginning to check for the pool first. After that, I was a little bit greedy on this because there were no lings around my base at like the 250 mark when I would usually have lings at my base if he went pool first. I kind of looked for him with the Reaper, didn't find any, so let's go see what he's doing. Go and check his 2nd base. Oh, there's a lot of drones there. I think we're going to be safe for a little bit. He's just got some weird pressure going on. Next, about 320 to 350 is going to be my next scout. And what am I going to scout? I'm going to scout when he's taking his 3rd. This is a very important part of a Zerg strategy, is the 3rd base timing. So anywhere between 330, this is getting late. This is getting to the later side of not having a 2nd base. Now, what can you do without having a 2nd base is make roaches. Making a lot of roaches. So if you don't see a 2nd base before about 350, that's when you have to be worried about, okay, is this going to be a 2-base muta? Is this going to be 2-base all in? What's going on with this with this right now? So as expected, he's getting roaches. It's it's just an AI. Even the highest level AI is still doing a very inefficient bad build. By 4 minutes with me, if I'm playing Zerg, I'd have a 3rd finished, and more than how many drones he has. I'm keeping up with him as a Terran on my drone count. I'm only 1 worker behind him, and that's not how Zerg. That's not how you play Zerg. But this is more of an explanation video rather than a video of anything else. So you'll see. I'm going to start checking again. Let's speed it up a little bit. See what I'm going to do with my my Reaper. So I see that he didn't take his second yet, and I'm leaving it out here. Another reason I'm leaving it right here is to catch a drone going out, to catch some units coming out. I know that this is the only exit to his base as a Zerg, so if something comes in or goes out of his base, my Reaper's going to see it. I've got the vision down there, and I can look at it on the mini-map. So this is me feeling very safe, and I'm spending all of my time, if we look at my camera, let's see what I'm doing with my camera here. All of my time right now, I'm spending on my macro cycle. So I get my cyclones. So now here, right here at this time, you saw, I sent out my first pressure. About 4 minutes, 30 seconds. This is when the Reaper's job kind of changes. So until this point, what your Reaper is doing, what your Reaper has done is gone in, checked the second base. Then it's checking for the third before anywhere from 3 minutes, 20 seconds to, 2 minutes, 50 seconds until like 3 minutes 50. You want to check to see if he's got a third base. If he does, then what you want to do, check the drones on the third. Is he droning his third, or is he just using it for larva? This is a big question. If it's just a larva base, then you're going to expect a lot of heavy larva compositions, a lot of Ling Bane all-ins on 2 bases or something like that. What I'm seeing from here, even though it's an elite computer and just a PC, roaches. Probably some sort of a roach big push. Let's take a look. Roaches and stuff. Yeah, just more roaches. Just a whole crap ton of roaches is what I'm looking for. Now, this is when the Reaper's identity kind of changes. At this point, it was to scout what's going on in the second base, drone-wise, scout to see when he's taking the third, and then scout to see when the third drone is. And you kind of just keep peeking him in, and peeking him in, and peeking him in. But now, before the 5-minute mark, you need to have some sort of pressure on a Zerg, or you're just going to let them explode. So about 4:30 to 5 minutes, or anywhere about the 5-minute mark, you really need to get something into his base. So what I do, I send my double cyclones or 16 marines or something like that into either his third base or his natural. This is a very droppable map, so I'm going to send it into my natural. And now what I'm looking for with the Reaper is a counter push. So I'm going to leave the Reaper out in this area. Let's just keep playing it. So I'm going to leave the Reaper out in this area again. I'm looking for anything coming out of this base. Anything that's going to come out of this base and try to attack me, I want to know about it. That's what I'm looking for. So let's watch my control on this. I get the drop in. Let's see what I'm looking at. I get in there, I get it out, and back home. I'm not looking at it very long, and again, checking the third. What is he doing? When is he taking this third? Is he taking the third yet? No? Okay, let's get some upgrades. I'm going to take the third. I have a lot of good map control, so I don't really need to feel too worried about any aggression. So again, I'm just looking at the minimap every once in a while. Nothing's coming out, so I know everything's contained into his base. Not really worried. I'm just working up to my 730 pressure is all I'm working on right now. But anytime I get a chance, take a little drop in, take some pressure, get it in, get it out. Right? So I'm not looking at it. It's just going in. It's doing its thing. I'm looking at how many workers I've killed. 2. Great. Doesn't matter. I'm throwing them off. All right, now. Look what we have. Look how precious this Reaper is. We've got a third base going down right now. So let's think about what this says. What is this going to say? If it's an actual player, he's very bad. But I have this understanding that now more is going to start moving out my way down these ramps here, right? Another thing that you should be looking at after you have a dropout. This is now your scout to see what's going on. Get in, do a little damage, check his composition. That's what this is about. When I attack, if you really want to see what the composition is, put some damage in there, because just queens and drones isn't going to be able to save from a double cyclone drop. He's gonna have to send whatever he has, roaches or hydras or mutas or whatever, at my drop, and then I can find out what he's doing. Then what you want to do with your Reaper, and unfortunately PCs don't do this, is you want to be looking at where the creep is moving. Where is the creep moving? Because creep, for a good player, is going to move 1 towards their 4th base. So let's say the creep, if you look at the minimap down here, if the creep is moving out towards here, I know this is going to be his 4th base, which means at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, when I'm going to move out, I'm going to move out towards his 4th, because that's the most valuable spot of a Zerg. Being on 3 bases as a Zerg is great, but that 4th gives you the extra larva and lets you start transitioning, and that's what saves you. So if I can cut off his 4th, I cut his economy, and then it's a ticking time bomb until he has to do something else. And if I'm attacking this, he can't do it. So one path is his 4th base. His second path is going to be his main attack route. When I played Zerg as main, I would always creep out first towards my 4th because it's a defensive creep, and then out towards his 3rd as my attack path. And there are different creep objectives. That's what you can use this Reaper for here, is to figure out, okay, where's the creep going? Is the creep coming out here? Okay, that's going to be his 4th. Is the creep coming over here? Okay, that's going to be his 4th. That's going to mean I'm going to siege up in this spot. Or I'm going to siege up in this spot here. Or where's his attack path? Oh, his attack path seems like it's moving up this route here. So when I get my 4th base, I should take my 4th base maybe over here, away from his attack path. Or if I'm going to take my 4th base here, I'm going to have to make sure I wall this off, put some tanks behind it, and be able to defend this position if he's coming towards my 4th. But right now, I have this nice pocket 3rd here. I can move my things, and if you look, where's my army sitting right now? At the most vulnerable spot. So if something comes in, I'm going to know about it because I've got a Reaper, and I've got a Cyclone out on his side of the map, so I've got map control. I can check his composition. I'm fairly certain that he's not going Spire, but can never be sure. And then I've got this Reaper here, so I know nothing's coming out of the base yet, so I could just be greedy all day. So let's keep on watching. I'm gonna just put it on my camera. Keep talking through this. So I'm just floating a bunch of minerals. I'm just trying to spend my cash right now. It's just macro time. But it's coming up for my siege. Now I'm moving my army down to. Now I'm going to try to see when he's going to take his 4th, is what I'm doing with that Reaper. I know he's taking a 3rd. I've got my creep spot. I want to be able to see if he's going to send out any drops. I'm sending all of my jazz over to his side of the map. So 730. The reason I'm attacking here is you look at my upgrades. I've got stim, combat shields, and +1 is just about to finish, right as I'm walking into his 3rd. And then I'm going to siege up. Now, big mistake on me. I left... This siege tank was stuck here. This is a 2-tank marine push. It's just pure marine tank with like a couple medevacs too. But I've got this drop here. So this is my little push at 7 minutes 30 seconds to really kind of gut this main. But then I build up another army back here while I'm getting more upgrades. This is how my this build works for me. So keep watching this, getting my upgrades started. Got my tank sieged. I'm gonna push in and back home. Looking around, getting more things. Now this is a little bit dangerous. I look back, I'm like, whoa, Jesus, there's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna send it home. I'm gonna keep it back. And now I've got still. Let's see if I remember it or not. I do get quite a few more kills here. So yeah, I'm just waiting for him. I'm kind of just bracing for impact right now, just trying to spend my cash. I see he's got everything. Did you see all that? He's got like everything waiting right here to take this drop out. Like 100 of his units. He's got like infestors and roaches and a bunch of hydras, and it's like, okay, well, that's just that. And now I've got still a Reaper, and I should have him patrolling here and here to see when he's taking his 4th, but I don't really need anything right now, so I'm just kind of keeping my macro cycle up. And that Reaper, 9 minutes, still alive, still giving me information, still telling me he doesn't have a 4th, still telling me he's, being defensive. Let's see what this is. You see? Also, other value I'm getting. Trying to take a 4th, killing it. So what do? Again, yeah, I check. What are you doing? Let's go back and look at this really quick. So I have pretty good minimap awareness. I've been working on this quite a bit. So send in my drop. I see his army moving out. I'm like, okay, well, Stanley is dead. My drop is dead. Stanley's dead. My drop is dead. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get time. I'm trying to get time for my build. So until 10 minutes, Stanley and my double drop have been just super beneficial. I've gotten five worker kills out of it, but what they've given me is map control and information, which is going to allow me to win this game. So as soon as he starts moving out, that drop comes in, tries to pull him home, tries to keep him busy while I'm just still getting my army massed up, massing an army, spending my money. I've got 66 workers. He's got 66 workers. We're on the same economy, but I have fourth base almost finished. He's just starting his fourth base because I've been stopping it with my Reaper, getting extra damage. Now my computer opponent is at 800 APM right now because that's just how computers are, so they can do everything at once with pinpoint accuracy on these biles and everything. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to show in this video is how much value I got from that Reaper. I knew nothing was coming out of his base. So that means I don't have to worry about any pressure. I can just be super macro and just focus on this number up here rather than what the hell's going on down here. My drop, keeping map control. He can't leave his base without me having 2 cyclones in on his base. And if this is a bad spot to drop, I can come over here, I can drop into here, I can sneak around the back and drop into his main. I can do anything. I have map control with those just 1 medevac, 2 cyclones. That's 6 supply of units. And then a 7th supply is giving me all this extra information. I delayed his 4th. I saw he was moving out. And as soon as I saw he was moving out, I was like, all right, send him in. Give me some time. And then I've got a mess of units behind this. I'm getting, getting +2. I'm getting +1 weapons here. I'm going to start +2 here. So let's just put this back on my camera. Let's just play the rest of this game. Just got more minutes on double speed. So send out a Marine.
Mineral field depleted.
I've got one other thing I've been doing recently. After about 8 medevacs, 6 to 8. I used to do 6, but I felt like if I stim once, it takes forever for me to like re-heal my army. So I get 8 medevacs, and after 8 medevacs, I get Liberators. I start double producing Liberators for the rest of this game. And I'll do Marine, Medevac, Marauder, Tank, Liberator, and just try to spend my cash. Take a 5th base, moving out. So again, what information did I get from my Reaper? What information did I get from a Reaper? That he was trying to expand here. This is a mistake. I really should siege here, I feel. This is going to be the main... Yeah, this is his newest base. This is his most... valuable spot, but I didn't know that he was taking this as well. This is actually new information. I didn't know about that until now. But for the whole time, I know that this was his 3rd, which is a pretty valuable spot. His main is getting mined out. His natural is getting mined out, just like mine. My main, way low. My natural, getting lower. 3rd, fine. 4th, still chugging. Very nice. But I'm going to be taking a 5th. And everything, but yeah, the Reaper kind of told me very easily. My opponent is expanding up this direction. Well, he's expanding over here. So if I siege in this spot, I can get flanked on both sides. Not a good siege spot actually. I should definitely have come over this way. But still working on my Terran, still working on it. But this is extra value you can get from just that one Reaper. It's such a valuable unit, such a good unit. So now, Liberator's up, tanks behind, stim the bio in, look at it, I'm maxed out. So yeah, the 8 medevacs keep me healed. Now let's look at my production, let's see how I'm building stuff. There's a lot of micro. Got a bunch of APM right now, about 100 to 200, about 100 average APM. Fungals, great fungals from him. Trying to keep my cash down.
Upgrade complete.
But yeah, I ended up winning, and yeah, it's just an elite computer, but it is good practice for the real thing on the ladder. So I'm just gonna keep working on my build, keep working on getting extra value out of each one of my units, and and really working at it. So imagine I got that much value out of just one Reaper. One Reaper showed me quite a bit of information. How is he droning his second? What is the third timing? How many drones does he have on his third? Where's his fourth? Where's his creep going? Where's his main attack path? Is he moving out? All of that is from one unit. Just the value of that one Reaper until, for me, he died at 10 minutes. That's super value out of one unit. And imagine if each one of your units, each portion of your army, each thing has that much of a defined role in your build. Well, welcome to Grandmaster, I feel. I'm nowhere near there yet, but it's something that I'm going to keep working on. Made too many medevacs, misclicking and not making liberators instead. My mistake. But thanks for watching. Hope you learned it. If you have any questions about scouting Zerg, please let me know. I did hit Diamond 3 as Zerg, so I'm not completely clueless with my my Zerg play, which is why I think TvZ is my favorite matchup at the moment. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment or ask any questions. If you want to practice, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.